Choosing a white wine for Christmas, never an easy task, right? It can't be too unusual, it's got to be something that all the family can enjoy, it's got to deal with that Christmas food, and it can't be too expensive either. Well, I've got a little Australian number that really does fill the bill, and it's coming right up. Hi guys, welcome to yet another edition of Big on Wine. And of course, this is the show that brings you news, clues and reviews about just about everything in the world of wine. And of course, this week we're continuing our search for the perfect Christmas wine. And I've got this little number for you. It goes under the name of two Princes Semillon Chardonnay, and the vintage is 2018. And this wine comes in for a really budget price of under €9 a bottle where I am. So very good value indeed for money. This wine comes from Australia, in fact from southeastern Australia, from New South Wales, and it's produced by QV Wines in a place called Bilbul, which is pretty much in the middle of nowhere, about 500 or so kilometres west of Sydney. Now this is a blend, of course, of two varieties, as the name suggests, Semillon and Chardonnay. Now we've gone through Chardonnay many times before, but we haven't dealt with too many Semillon-based wines. Semillon is a grape which is a native of southwest France. In fact, it's turned into some of the very finest white wines from southwest France. It's a fairly easy grape to grow, but does suffer occasionally from botrytis, which damages the grapevines considerably. Okay, now this is an Australian wine, and Semillon grows very, very well, very, very easily. Chardonnay, of course, has always been a little bit more of an upmarket choice, and I think the blend here of Semillon and Chardonnay is a kind of a compromise, but a good compromise. Semillon providing that kind of rich, dry flavour, rounded out with a little bit of Chardonnay, making it a nice combination. Okay, let's take a look at the wine in the glass, and as we can see, it is a relatively pale straw gold in colour, looks very appealing, translucent, looks good in the glass. Let's see how this relatively modestly priced wine behaves in the nose. Here we go. All right. Pretty good, I would say. Pretty good for a budget wine. The immediate aromas that I'm picking up here are the fairly typical citrus aromas, so somewhere between lemon and lime, I would say, in this. Maybe a touch of apple in the mix as well, fairly mature apple, I would say. And there is definitely an aroma there of honeymelon as well. So citrus fruits and honeymelon, a very attractive combination here. All right, let's try this wine in the mouth now, see how we get on with this one. Now that's very nice indeed. This is a dry wine. It has 6 grams of residual sugar, so putting it firmly in the dry category. But this is a very kind of rich, fruity wine. So not too dry by any means. It doesn't have that steeliness that sometimes is associated with Chardonnay, that Semillon is talking to us here. Ripe fruit, very, very ripe flavours indeed, which mirror the nose. So we're getting that honeymelon, and especially the citrus now in the mouth, and that touch of apple there. But there's something also beside those flavours, which we picked out from the aromas in the nose, and it's much, much closer to, what would I say? I think there's a touch of peach in the mix there, and also some very, very nice pineapple going through the wine as well. The finish is not particularly long, but the wine is fairly mouth-watering. Those citrus fruits are really very, very appealing. It has a citrusy bite. It's uncomplicated and pleasing in the mouth, fairly light and refreshing. Very nice indeed. Okay, so how are we going to classify this wine? Well, I think, this is the ultimate multi-purpose wine, which you could enjoy at Christmas time. You could enjoy a glass simply as is between friends. This would go nicely, I think, with quite a variety of food. You'd immediately be thinking of something like fish or seafood, maybe even running to something more exotic, Chinese, Thai cuisine perhaps would go nicely with this. But I mean, it would also handle very, very easily chicken as well, veggie dishes and salads. All right, so let's bring you the heads up on this wine. Is it cheap and cheerful? Well, yes and no. It's definitely cheap. To call it cheap and cheerful would be unfair, though, I think. This is a budget, well-made offering from southeastern Australia. It's unpretentious, it's uncomplicated, maybe slightly unfashionable, the Semillon grape, but blended with the Chardonnay produces a very, very nice, crisp, dry wine with flavours of citrus and pineapple. This is a wine that should be served roughly at a temperature of 8 or 9 degrees. It's worth every penny of its asking price. Two Princes Semillon Chardonnay, vintage 2018 from New South Wales. 3 stars plus out of 5. Okay folks, many thanks for tuning in and checking out this week's video. And of course this was a little look at a potential wine for Christmas. Two Princes Semillon Chardonnay, vintage 2018, budget priced wine, but very, very nice indeed. Okay, if you've enjoyed what you've seen and heard, then please do feel free to give us a like. Yes, give us that big thumbs up, which we enjoy receiving so much. Drop a comment down below. We're always very eager to receive your opinions and feedback. If you've got a favourite wine for Christmas, then please tell us about it. Share the video around to your heart's content. Follow me on my other social media platforms. And hey, if you haven't subscribed so far, consider doing so by hitting that big red button, which will appear somewhere up there behind me. And of course, while you're about it, why not ring the bell, and you'll be informed as soon as every new video is uploaded. But this is Tony Melville signing off now. I'll be back next week, of course, another great wine of the week for you. But until we meet again, take care out there, be good to each other. Enjoy your wines, and cheers.